Hello and welcome to News9. I'm Shubhayan Chakravarti, and in this special interview, we have West Indies' Mr. Dependable and the number one test all-rounder in the world, Jason Holder. Welcome to News9, Jason, and thank you so much for taking time for this interview.
Well, thank you for having me, man. It's a pleasure being here.
Absolutely, and what a great servant you have been for the West Indies cricket. But it has been a few crazy months, with the bio bubble life. You have spent two birthdays on the trot in the bubble life. So how difficult, how challenging has it been for you?
Yeah, it's been extremely challenging. I think now that I've had probably a complete year and some in a bubble, it's been really, really tough. I think getting to the very, very end of it, we're in need of an extended break, and it's something that's been discussed. And yeah, probably after this series, I'll be taking some time off just to refresh, rejuvenate, and just come back stronger in the new year. I think it's been a long time on the road, and I was remarking that I've been on the road from January till now, and it has been difficult being away from friends and family. I haven't been in Barbados. Well, I've been in Barbados for the series against Australia, but obviously with being stuck in a bubble, I wasn't able to go home and see family, and that was very, very hard, being in your home country and stuck in a bubble. So, I think COVID has obviously posed this challenge to all of us. And it has been a challenge, not only trying to perform on the cricket field, but trying to stay mentally attuned off the cricket field, being stuck in the confined space. But let's hope that these bubbles can slowly but surely start to, go away and we could get back to normalcy, because, God knows that we need to get back there, especially for the mental state of everyone.
And in India, there have been a lot of talks around the hectic schedule. Like you guys are playing cricket after every 2-3 days and are switching series without any break whatsoever. So when it comes to the hectic schedule, West Indies will play Sri Lanka now, then go to Pakistan, and then host England, and then go to India. So it's like jam packed before the T20 World Cup. So how do you take that hectic schedule? And as you said, you are planning to rest after this series. But do you feel that the broadcasters or the planners should also take the concerns of the players and the physical and the mental side as well into the account when planning a calendar?
Yeah, definitely. But I don't think anything is taken, well, the players' mental health or mental state is ever taken into consideration when it comes to scheduling. There's just too much cricket being played. There's too much international cricket being played. And I know we've lost time due to COVID, where we've been sat indoors and locked down probably for 2 or 3 months. But I just think it's just not healthy, and we've not got the luxury where we rotate players, and, we've got a strong bench, so pretty much we've got our main players playing all year round. And then when you give us an opportunity to play IPL cricket, which, by rights is a big financial earner for many of us. It's hard to turn that down. I myself haven't played around the world as much as some of the other guys, but I have committed 100% to international cricket, where I've played every single series, every single format. So for me now, having that, and then, you get the opportunity to play the IPL where you could make some very good money, it's hard to turn that down as well too. So I just think, from my standpoint, management just has to come into effect. I don't see why England, Australia, India, all these other countries can, manage their players. It's not to say that, we've got many players who cross all three formats. We've only got literally 2 players at present, so it should be a case where you can manage those 2 players and, just have open discussions with them as to, potential pockets of rest, which I feel is very, very important for guys to go and, refresh and come again.
But let's move to a bit of cricket format switch now. Just after the T20 World Cup, it will be a test series, 2 completely contrasting formats. So how challenging or how tough is it for you, who are contributors with both bat and ball, to make those changes, make those technical switches and mental switches as well when it comes to test cricket and T20 cricket?
I think I'm accustomed now, man. I think it's easy for me to go from T20 cricket into Test cricket because you've got more time. The hardest part about Test cricket for me personally is having to bowl a lot of overs. I've pretty much been the workhorse of the side for a number of years. So, my overs count is always higher than some of the other frontline bowlers. Just because of my role. So that's going to be most challenging. So for me, I just got to be as fresh as possible, trying to preserve my body as much as I can, particularly in some practice sessions, maybe not playing warm-up games or whatever the case may be. But that preservation of my body and mind is very, very important to actually get in full capacity in the test match. I think I spend a lot of time doing batting because I think I need to do a lot more fine-tuning there. And I need a lot more work there. So I just work very, very hard on my batting. I'm trying to correct a few technical things that I've picked up. And that's taken my mind and focus off bowling a bit because, I think sometimes you just need to, just completely unwind and relax, just shift the trend of thought when it comes to one particular skill. And I've been able to now transfer that onto my batting, which I've paid a lot of attention to over the last couple of months, particularly because I'm working on a few things. But look, I'm looking forward to this series. I love Test cricket, my favorite format. So coming from T20 cricket into my favorite format, I'm really looking forward to it. And the last time, Rich, I would have toured here in Test cricket, to play a Test series was an eventful one. It was my first tour as captain, and we were competitive, but we were still outplayed by the Sri Lankans. They beat us. So I think with a little bit more experienced team, in a sense, and a good few of the guys who would have played in that series are still here now. So I think we're really looking forward to this challenge against the Sri Lankans.
Carry your teammates around, and it's been a tough phase for West Indies. Let's be honest about it. So does it bring more responsibility on your shoulder? Plus, how proud are you about this accomplishment?
Look, I don't think about what's expected of me. I think if I try to manage other people's expectations, I just lose sight of what's actually in front of me. I just think about what's required of me personally from the team, and that's just to perform a role with bat, ball, and also in the field. I just narrowed down my focus to batting, bowling, and fielding. If there's any player who obviously wants to lean on me for knowledge or chat, I'm always open to that. But to just try to manage other people's expectations is just too much, and I personally can't manage it. So I never ever put it into my game. But these guys know that if they want, they can just always knock on my door. Is always open, and I'll share as much as I possibly can share. I'll always be there to help someone because that's something I firmly believe in. I think when I go to a practice session, I could probably bat a whole session or bowl half of a session, but I must find energy to help somebody else because I've always lived my life like that, whether it be throwing balls at a person, having a small chat, throwing arm, because that's something I really learned to do because I think it's very, very important, to take some strain off the coaches as well too. So I just like, I've always been one to, if I start a practice, when I start a practice session, I'm always the last person to leave or one of the last people to leave because I got to make sure that I help somebody else, because that's the only way the whole product gets better.
Jason, the next immediate target, the next immediate series is Sri Lanka. A T20 World Cup didn't go as per your plans, unfortunately, but does that add more pressure on this group, although it is a completely different group barring a couple of players? Does it add more pressure on you guys to just go on and win this series?
I don't think so. It's a completely different team. We've only got two members here who were part of the World Cup, which is myself and Ross and Chase. And this is a fresh group. These guys know what's expected of them. We have shown that we can win away from home, as the guys won in Bangladesh probably a year ago. And look, we just got to go and play cricket that we know we can play. I think once we get too deep into expectation, then you just run yourself into issues. Each and every individual has a role to play, and we've all got to play our role and play it to the best of our ability to give ourselves the best chance to win.
Absolutely, and the last time, your video of sledging Dhananjay De Silva went absolute viral on social media. Do you plan to spice it up again when you take the field for the Test series?
Who knows, man? The Sri Lankan guys are very, very nice people, man. And actually, Dhananjay and I, have gotten very, very close. We exchanged texts a lot more now. Well, not a lot more. I've gotten his number since then, and we've become, very, very good. I think playing cricket hard on the field is important, but off the field, you must always build those friendships, and I think I can safely say that I can consider him a friend of mine. He's a very, very nice guy. I enjoy his cricket. I love the way he plays his cricket. And no doubt I'll be going at Danager in this series. We're those kind of cricketers. It's just so sad that Dick Weller isn't playing, because he's another one to me that plays the game in the right spirit. He's hard on the field, gives it to you. And he's not afraid to take it. He's one of those players. I really respect because of how he plays it.
Mhm.
And he takes the game on. I always enjoy cricketers who take the game on, and it's just sad to see he's been banned. But I hope that he can come back for Sri Lankan cricket very, very soon, and add that value that he's normally add to the team.
Absolutely. Jason, in T20 cricket, you have become a sort of a late party spoiler for teams, coming down the order, showing your batting prowess, flexing those big muscles there. So, are you enjoying this role of, coming late down the order and whacking those sixes, or even taking the responsibility with the old and the new ball as well?
Yeah, I think with bowling, I think my T20 bowling has improved a lot. I just been working a lot more on variation and just field setting. I think having the right fields is so important in T20 cricket. You may have the right ball to bowl, but not having the best field to support it, is like spinning top in mud. But in terms of batting, I would honestly like to have more time. It's just unfortunate that in most teams that I've played in, I just come in to bat a few balls. But when I played domestic cricket, I tend to bat higher, and I really show that. I can bat higher and perform. But ideally, I honestly would like to open the batting in T20 cricket. I feel I've got the tools to do it. Obviously, playing Test cricket, I've got a good knowledge, a good fair knowledge about playing a swinging ball. And if the spinners, come on early, I think I've got the leverage and reach to really utilize in those situations with only two fielders out. So opening the batting is high on my agenda, and I'm trying to build nicely towards going at the top of the order in T20 cricket.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest talking point of this World Cup when it comes to West Indies cricket was Dwayne Bravo and Chris Gayle as well. Although Chris Gayle said he's semi-retired at the moment, he wants a farewell in Jamaica. But a small tribute from your side. What do Chris Gayle and Dwayne Bravo mean to West Indies cricket and their contributions to the Caribbean?
Well, I'll start with Brav because he's younger. Yeah, obviously he's contributed so much to not only West Indies cricket but the game. I think T20 cricket has done a lot for him. I think he's one of the budding T20 legends of the game, and I think he's gained so much more respect in playing T20 cricket and being so successful doing it, particularly in franchise. He's done really well in IPL cricket all over the world. I think he's one of those guys who always tries to help out, offer his expertise to people, which I feel is very, very important. And I would always appreciate him for that. And then his knowledge of the game, is paramount. He's just one knowledgeable guy, obviously playing cricket around the world, different conditions. And, he's been able to be very successful in these conditions as well, too. So, lots of respect to him. I just want to personally, again, I've said it before, congratulate him on an awesome career. And I wish him all the best in his future endeavors. With regards to Chris, he's a guy I've got so much respect for Chris. He probably doesn't even know it, because for me, through everything that's happened with him in his career, whether it be injuries, whether it be, falling out with maybe board coaches, whatever, to me, he's always given his services to West Indies cricket first. And that's something that's always stuck with me. He always came back to, what made him, and he's been an absolute legend in the game for me. Arguably the best opening batsman to play in West Indies colours. His numbers speak for itself within all three formats. T20 legend, we call him the GOAT because, he's set the bar very, very high in terms of T20 batting. 20 odd T20 hundreds, 10,000 T20 runs, and just years of entertainment. He always did things with a smile on his face, and he brought a different aura towards T20 cricket, and then my biggest respect for Chris too is being able to then transcend that into the longer formats. I was there to see his double 100 in the 2015 World Cup. I wasn't there to see any of his triple hundreds in Test cricket, but to score 2 triple hundreds in Test cricket, it just shows who the kind of player he is. He can adapt, and I've seen him, batter many attacks over the years in different conditions, and salute to Chris, man. Salute to Christopher Henry Gayle, man. I completely admire you. I want to thank you. And, you know, I hope that he could be put in some capacity, if he's up for it, into coming back and giving back to West Indies cricket and to cricket in general. You know, I think cricket needs a Chris Gayle. We will definitely miss Chris Gayle, the entertainer in the field, but, you know, it'd be good to still keep him in some capacity afterwards.
Do you feel Cricket West Indies, the board should give him that farewell match in Jamaica because he wishes to hang his boots in front of the home crowd?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, it's a no-brainer. They have to give it to him. You know, if they don't give it to him, you know, I probably wouldn't even play. Well, that is if they select me. But yeah, look, Chris deserves it. I think he'll definitely have it. I think it'll be a bittersweet day, you know, where a lot of us will be extremely sad to lose a legend in the game. But we could be happy to just see him play one more time and entertain us for one last time. You know, and I hope that we can have a packed stadium, you know, a sold out crowd to give Chris the best send-off we could possibly give him, you know, because God above knows that he deserves it, you know. So looking forward to that occasion, and I really want to be there.
Jason, before we wrap up, my final question to you, you always have said that Test cricket is your favorite format of the game. What would be your all-time Test 11?
That's a good one. All-time Test 11. Oh, wow. This is cricketing Test 11 or West Indies?
Cricketing Test 11. If you want to include someone you have admired who have not achieved something big in his career, you can put him in. It's all your calls.
All right, I have. Sorry if I'm being a bit biased, but this is just
go ahead. It's all your calls.
Christopher Henry Gayle 1. I'll go because I just feel as though it would be a great spectacle. I'll go Virender Sehwag 2.
Oh, Chris Gayle and Virender Sehwag opening. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. At 3, I would have Ricky Ponting.
Oh, great pick.
4, I would have Brian Lara.
Again.
5, I would have Vivian Richards. Sir Vivian Richards.
Yeah.
6, I'm going to slip my all-rounder in there. Sir Garfield St. Albans Sobers.
Oh, absolutely.
7, I can call up maybe we could keep a batsman at 7. Adam Gilchrist.
Oh,
I really enjoyed Gilchrist over the years, man. They're not a lot better than Gilchrist. Although it'd be very hard to leave out another icon in Kumar Sangakkara, looking at the stats. But I'll go Gilchrist first. Gilchrist 7. 8, Warren. 9. And then I go 3 fast bowlers. 9, Curtly Ambrose, my favorite West Indian fast bowler of all time. Curtly Ambrose 9, Malcolm Marshall 10, and Glenn McGrath 11.
What a team you have.
Because I really, actually, no, I'm sorry, it's hard, but I'm going to take Glenn out. And just to bring a bit more variety to my team, I'm going to pick Wasim Akram. Man, I used to say him. So I'll go Wasim Akram. That's my 11.
That's going to wreak havoc if you know at their peak these all guys were in the field. That would have been something.
But I just want to mention to a few of the outstanding individuals. Definitely Glenn McGrath. Definitely Kumar Sangakkara. Jack Callis.
Oh, my favorite.
And then Dale Steyn. I don't think Dale Steyn is given enough credit based on what he's achieved, man. His record is outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. So see, Dale Steyn is another guy I really want to mention. Mutai Mir-Litteran, obviously with his spin, but Warren is always my number 1. Those are the guys that probably would narrowly miss out, but you know, I would still mention them.
You have completed a squad at least, so it can play in West Indies.
Yeah, we got in case of injuries. Yeah, exactly.
There are some old legs there, so in case there's some injuries out there. True. But thank you so much, Jason, for doing this. It was an absolute pleasure and a blast having this interview.
Thanks so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
All the very best for the Sri Lanka series and the upcoming cycle, and hope to see you when you guys are in India.
Thank you so much, man.